Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Strap yourselves in, lieutenants. This is going to be a lengthy one. Darren, mine is a pretty unique situation, but one that should be valuable for your viewership. My name is Dick. I'm 23. I have worked full-time jobs for the past couple of years while making sure I didn't accrue too much debt. Private sector corporatism fucked me pretty hard as a 16 to 20-year-old, but I got that experience out of the way and eventually slayed it. Over the last 2 years, I earned a cute savings of $12,000 that paid off the next 2 years' worth of rent up front, with enough left over to pay for all food and internet necessities along the way. Quitting my job was the next logical step. And so I am temporarily retired. Oh, hang on. I forgot something here. There we go. That's how the old captain's brain works. And so I temporarily retired at the age of 23. I have been for 2.5 months now. In that 2-month time frame, I have taught myself finger drawing, computer repair, C programming and web development, some Latin and Japanese, basic chemistry and biology and anatomy. My plan for the rest of my retirement is pretty simple, using Cliff Notes and McGraw-Hill book collections in conjunction with Khan Academy, I'll deliver myself almost an entire college education. Well, why do you want a college education? I wouldn't fashion what you're going to self-educate yourself on based on what a college degree would be, because half your classes are worthless bullshit. So I would be studying for skills. Don't merely replicate a college degree. That's an obsolete tool today. I would get skills. I'm using the ACT, GRE, ASVAB, blah, 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 what I should learn and practice tests within them to measure my proficiency. Those tests are just to test you getting into school. You don't want to do that. You should study skills. Like I would stop biology and anatomy. You're going to become a doctor? C programming, web development, that makes sense. Latin and Japanese, are you going to go become a translator? Computer repair, that makes more sense. But I did not contact you about my plan. It's rock fucking solid. I contacted you about my dilemma, which I'm sure you already guessed. I'm going mad with the lack of difficulty in my life. The old as time phrase of a man dies the day he retires rings especially true for me. I'll keep my bemoaning short and concise. 1, I'm 23. My peers are fucking dipshits. 2, I'm 23. My female peers are even bigger dipshits and even more intolerable. 3, even if it weren't awful, they've got shit to do during the day, so when I feel like going out and practicing some martial art videos or calling them over for Dungeons and Dragons, you finish the sentence. 4, I'm having difficulty staying productive due to having so much free time. I was kicking ass and taking names for the first month or so, but my productivity eventually petered off, so that now I can only spend maybe 2 hours a day on self-improvement instead of the 5 I used to. For your answer to these complaints, it might be useful to know what advantages I have. 1, I'm 6'2", a little too thin, but I've already made changes to my diet and workout routine to where I'm building muscle like a champ. 2, I'm pretty good looking as well, blonde hair, blue eyes, excellent beard, regardless of grooming, though I keep it very groomed in a perpetual state of 5 o'clock shadow. I look like a sexy Jesus. 3, I have an excellent voice and even started doing free audiobook recordings on LibriVox and my own YouTube channel. Should I pursue voice acting, recording as a hobby until I'm skilled enough to do that as freelance as well? Hell yes! Hell yes, pursue. Dude, throw as many fucking lines in the water, and if you get paid because you have a great voice, abso-fucking-lutely. That's better than going to college. 4, I'm an excellent speaker. My day game is strong. My charisma is my main stat, followed by an int and dex. I don't know what you're frightened, dude. Everything else is above average, too. I look older than I am, and it earns me much fairer treatment in my dealings. People think I'm around 26 to 28, and Asian girls think I'm 30 to 35. I'm not sure if it's the way I look or the way I talk or both. A few more things. I started volunteering for medical trials since I was bored and don't exactly dislike money, even if I don't need it. And in doing so, my productivity went up by 50% while I was required to remain in the facility for X amount of days. Oh yeah, dude, if you're forced to sit, again, most of my production comes from working at security guard shifts because you're sitting there for 12 hours doing nothing. Your brain will find out something to do. So that will also not just make you money, but immediately boost your productivity. My income has also increased to $2,000 a month just by doing this, and it already outstripping my income from last few years, which was roughly $1,500 a month. I'm pocketing all of it, enough of it. I read it exactly as it was written. I'm not going to go over 2 because you got rid of the sushi job. Improvement. You see any... okay. And then you had some follow-up. I guess what my video request really is the shortest amount of words is, how the fuck do you keep on track and remain productive in your current lifestyle, because I'm having a difficult time doing the same. Just some advice on how you structure your days and weeks to keep your schedule, but more specialized towards my situation. In addition to how to network with your followers, in fact, didn't you mention something about a Clary network? Or... dude, you gotta learn to spell first. You gotta learn to spell and write, otherwise nothing is gonna fucking happen. Okay. Well, there's not gonna be much deviation between my particular schedule or my particular advice, what I follow myself, what I'm gonna recommend to you. Because we're both in the same boat here. We've gone down different paths of life. The majority of people do not go down these paths. These paths are thinly populated, and so it's kind of lonely. And like, what do you do? So here basically, overall, it's you got to keep your mind engaged and keep your mind off of it. And there are various ways to do this, either through intellectual or physical endeavors. But I go through what I do specifically, and you could tailor it to your life, but there really isn't a lot of tailoring, because it's just, instead of working out here, work out there. That's all it really does. So the first one, work out every day. If you start getting down and depressed, I would switch from lifting weights to running, and I would do long distance running, because it takes time. It'll eat up all this extra hour in your days, and it'll do 2 things. 1, it'll give you an endorphin rush, and 2, it'll make you tired at night. So you will crash. You won't stay awake at 3 a.m. when it's dark and there's no one around. Your problem is a lack of human interaction. It does your psychology absolutely no fucking good to stay up till 3 a.m. And trust me, I fight it as much as I can. But sometimes, especially if you have a higher energy level, you're just going to stay up till 3 or 4 a.m. And that's when the dark, not just lack of light dark, but the mentally dark hours occur. So, and you're almost on schedule, because you'll last about 2.5, 3 months, and then bam, it hits. And that's what happened to me once I became completely, totally self-employed. It's like great for the first 3 months, but then you're like, okay, where's everybody else? So that's probably the most important thing, is working out every day. And a good workout, not one of these middle-aged women workouts. I moved the 5-pound weights a little. I did my cardio. Your diet's very important, and also you want to avoid drinking. All right, so you diet so that you're in a good mood. You get the whatever nutrients your body needs. Avoid drinking, because that will knock you out at night, but it'll make you depressed during the day. You also build up a tolerance to it. So you'd be trying to knock yourself out with booze, and all of a sudden it's 2 a.m., and instead of sleeping, you're kind of like, oh, I could use another drink. I'm still wide awake. So your body will build tolerance to it. So do go. And the other thing with diet is it takes a while. I mean, it takes time to have a good diet. So a lot of people are used to fast and go, because that's the way life is structured. We have a lack of time. But if you go and look for vegetables and you take your time to cook, that will eat up another hour a day, and it won't seem like that hour is gone. And it won't be wasted. You'll be doing it for a good purpose. You have to work a lot, but in your case, study, because that's what you're doing. You're studying. And this mentally occupies your mind. I know you don't want to. You were originally at 5 hours, but now you're at about 2. It's because your brain is starting to wonder where the people are. Like, what the fuck? Okay, I did this thing. All right, this is wonderful. I made some progress. Where are the people? There aren't any people. There won't be any people. Not until the population increases like 5-fold. And then there might be a critical mass, or you live in like New York City, or you work a night shift or something. Will there be people that form a critical or a massive social group that'll hang out late at night? So I would force yourself to study. If you have to, go get a part-time job, something security guard, something where you can work on your stuff, because you definitely don't want to go back to the private sector and work a real job. You want to work on your studies. So do that. Force your brain. After like a minute of reading, your brain will forget why you're so bored and the lack of humans around. And then you'll be focused on chemistry or whatever it is you're studying. You cannot, all work and no play makes Johnny a dull boy. So what you need to do is get hobbies. And I know you're 23 and you think everyone's an idiot compared to you. No, you just haven't looked hard enough. At least at 23, your average 23-year-old is not married and still has the energy to go out. You got to develop some hobbies and go out and find some people. Ballroom dancing is a good start. You mentioned something about ballroom dancing. You'll meet some people doing that. You live in a large enough metro area, and I know in that metro area there's salsa dancing. Absolutely go check that shit out. Kickball league, go online, meet up something, because at least 23-year-olds go out and play. And that will not last for long. That will last for about 6 years, and they'll start having kids, and then you'll never see them again. In the meantime, develop an internet social life. This will help out at night. Because while everyone in your time zone is sleeping, that doesn't mean everyone around the world is. So you'll be able to have conversation with people in Europe, Asia, all across the Middle East, all over the place. And that will at least keep your brain somewhat intellectually stimulated. It won't solve the problem of meat space, having actual people physically there. But it will become more important down the road, especially as people have kids, careers, fall asleep. It's just going to be good to have yourself an internet social life. In the meantime, I would work like hell now, though, to develop a core group of friends. And this goes beyond just getting your hobbies and going out and finding people. Find some good quality people and have them be your core group of friends. And do not lose them, all right? They will inevitably be lost to the fates of time and life. But you should be able to find a group of people, no matter how stupid you think most people are, especially at 23, because there are smart people who are not yet pregnant or married or with children or divorced or whatever. So get that core group of friends, go and do whatever it is they want to do, have fun hanging out with them. I like your entrepreneurship, like you keep trying different things. C programming, web development, electronics, all this other stuff. Something will bite. I mean, you could become a dance instructor maybe even once you get good enough. Something will bite, and that will then additionally not only occupy your time, but introduce you to other people, and kind of, it would be a surrogate or a replacement. Having a small business will have you socialize with other people where you like to. Unless you're in my case, in which case you're an author and there are no people around. So not all entrepreneurial endeavors result in you hobnobbing with people and everyone going out for dinner and you picking up the check. In the meantime, if you have it in the budget, I would be doing reconnaissance right now. That is, I'd say, very important. If you don't have a college degree, you don't have your college education, I would be going around to different towns, visiting different places within the United States, and going on road trips to seeing which towns, which states you'd like to live in. I've gone through these the states and towns I like before. You can maybe look those up. But yeah, at your age, now is the time to go and find the city that you want to live in, and maybe perhaps find a job or go to school or something like that. But at 23, yes, don't stay in the town you've grown up your entire life. If you got this much time and you have any kind of budget for it, get your car, have a mechanic look at it, throw some granola bars in there with some soda waters, and drive off to wherever the fuck it is you want to go. Stay at Wayside to explore these towns. That will sop up a lot of time. And that will also provide an amazing amount of context and vision about where you want your future to go. Find a girlfriend, okay? I know a lot of people, you don't find a girl because you're bored. No, if you happen to find the love of your life, date her, and then you got a buddy for life, and then you're going to hang out and do whatever it is, and you won't really be lonely anymore. Now, your sleep schedules might be a little bit off. But if the love of your life happens to come across the plate, yeah, date that girl. And then you will have a social life on top of a sexual one and a romantic one, all right? And then the girl will, let's go do this, let's go do that. Like, okay, we'll go. And then finally, what you're going to have to do is accept reality, and that is there's just not that many people who don't, or who have gone down your path. There aren't that many people that are like you in terms of independent-mindedness, your particular hobbies, your particular game plan. Most people commute, most people have a 9-to-5 job, most people spit out children, most people live the exact same life, the roughly 100 billion or 50 billion, depending on what figures you want to use, that previous humans have lived throughout the human history. There just isn't there just isn't the numbers there, which is why, thank God for the internet, because at least there you can kind of not only get people who are awake in other parts of the country, but you don't need to live in somebody's backyard to have a friend in New York. So you will make friends on the internet, and so like you cast that wide of a digital net, you will have associates and colleagues, but they will not be living in your town. So you just have to accept that reality. There's nothing you can really do about it, but there's something that you can do about it, but it'll make it worse, and that is think there's a solution when there is no solution. So accept reality. Most people aren't going down your path. This is a drawback of being different. You're a statistical oddity, and that's just the reality. So anyway, hope that helps put some things in context, gives you some ideas, and helps you eat away at some of that time. Best of luck. Toodles.